How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the House of Business Podcast. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. We're going to have a good one for you today, man. Like I usually say, this is the House of Business Podcast, the place where we give you the knowledge and tools to execute your dreams and visions. And we're going to have a good one for you today. Today it's going to be called How Everything Went Wrong, but Somehow Right. So, man, I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips, man, of some things that I experienced along my entrepreneurial journey and how it actually made me some real bad points in my life. One particular point in my life that was very pivotal to me moving forward in life, and I'm going to give you that. You're not going to believe this, but it is true. So, man, you guys lock in. If you're just now coming on, man, thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you guys for just liking, subscribing to this particular channel. We will start to diversify our platforms as we move forward. But we thank you guys for all you guys that are here. Thank you guys for that. We also have another channel that I want you guys to. I know this is a business channel for small business owners and also for seasoned business vets as well that's been in the game for a while. Maybe you've kind of lost your core values, not your core values, but maybe your company culture is kind of getting out of hand. Maybe you've delegated a couple of tasks and your company is getting away from the original vision that you envisioned when you first started the company. What we're doing is we're here to help you to realign yourself back to your original vision. Maybe take some time out, man, to you work yourself out of a job. That's the thing, to delegate those tasks and work yourself out of position so you can go and pursue other business ventures, maybe investments in other countries. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that the foundation of your existing business or the business that you have already have operable, and that's generating enough revenue or generating enough capital where you could remove yourself from those businesses, where you could hire extra hands and delegate those tasks too. We want to make sure that your original plan, your original vision, your original thoughts for that vision when you were just a dreamer still stands. And that's for the seasoned vets as well. Maybe some of this information, this knowledge that we share with you guys on this channel, maybe that can help you say, well, you know what? I knew about that, but it was good to have that reminder. So that's what we're here for. So like I said before, man, the title of this is called man, How Everything Went Wrong and Somehow Right. Now, I'm not going off any notes on this one. We're just going to wing this one. But you guys stay tuned. We're just going to wing it. But so we're going to start at a very monumental point when we first started business. We were basically pursuing our entrepreneurial journey. So as you know, my name is Caleb Thompson. I am the owner of Thompson Gardens Restaurant Company. I'm the owner of Thompson's Shoe and Clothing Unit. I'm the owner of Paradise Garden International Realty Company. I'm the owner of Puppy Trails Dog Walk. I am the owner of Paradise Pool Palace, Pool Planet, Paradise Pool Planet. That is a new subsidiary we just opened. You guys check that out. I'm also the owner of Astro Ride e-bike shop, and that is a place in New York City where we fix your e-bikes. We sell e-bikes online as well. So I have a very reputable background, that vouches for me when I come and I talk about these things. When I come and talk about these things come from experience. They don't just come from a place of me wishing or hoping that some of these things will take place. Everything that I'm going to share with you now from this point on will be from pure experience. We're going to start from the genesis of my entrepreneurial journey and how it all started. So moving forward, I used to work as a chef. So I was what I would call a 5-star chef, working nationally throughout the U.S. So basically our target market was D1 colleges like sororities and fraternities. I worked as a personal chef for years for some of the top sororities and fraternities and the top universities, D1 universities, schools at that, from the University of Oklahoma. I worked at the University of Colorado. I've worked in Iowa, Indiana, a lot of D1 schools that you could probably think of, and I was great at it. But there came this moment, as we move forward, there came this moment in my 9 to 5 journey where I was on salary. It wasn't really a 9 to 5 because, working as a chef, you don't really have that many. You work limitless hours. You can wake up you can be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't get off probably till 11 o'clock that night. Just depends on the workload. Just depends on if you want to say you want to prep for you better prep for the day ahead. Is depending on what type of restaurant you're working in. You may want to prep for the day ahead or maybe 2 days ahead, if that, and then check on, it's just so much you have to do. It's just so much you have to do, write the schedules for the week, inventory, it's just so much you have to do as a chef. You'll probably end up working 16-hour days or more, just depending on how many events you have, the workload, like I said, in its entirety, and what's coming up, what's following behind that initial day. But I worked as a chef. I I started rising through the ranks, man. I had integrity, and I want you to know, a lot of people in some of these companies know that kiss butt, to get in some of these positions that they really don't deserve. They kiss butt. They've compromised on so many levels. They've even went to means of using witchcraft and other things to get into these positions. But these people have not done the work. They have not went through the process of leadership. To be a leader, there is a process that you have to go through. There's a process that births resilience in you. There's a process that births, empathy in you. So everyone is not fit to be in a leadership position, but you have some people who have kiss butt to be in these positions, which is very dangerous for the company and the company culture. So when building a company, you need to make sure that the person is not only competent, but they have emotional intelligence. That means that they can put themselves in someone else's shoes. They can understand, they can problem solve and understand things on a deeper level with discernment that's beyond just physical appearance. Which bursts empathy. They need that. And I'm not saying to let anyone run over you, be a chump, but what I am saying is that to be in a place of leadership, you need to be able to give out empathy, not sympathy, but empathy when needed. You also need to know how to be bold. You need to be balanced on all facets of your life and in your leadership. So, and I say that to say this. So while rising through the ranks of this particular company, now we're talking about how everything went wrong, but somehow right. So I'm just going to give you the genesis of my entrepreneurial journey and how we came up. Now we have 27 businesses, 2 holding companies. We do business internationally. We do philanthropy internationally as well. So so how I started off as a chef. I started rising through the ranks rather quickly, if you would say, rather quickly. So I would say within a year's period, I went from being an entry-level employee to a regional manager. That's rather quickly, where it took some of these guys 7 years to get to that exact point. So I did have someone that was over me that birthed jealousy in that person. And there we went. There went the lies. There went the smear campaign. So after that, I ended up getting fired from that place. But what I'm talking about is how everything came about. So I ended up getting fired from that place. And that was actually the time that everything crumbled. After that, I lost my place. I lost my vehicle. I lost everything. Once I lost that job, that was probably the foundation of my finances. That was probably the way. That was probably like the main way. I didn't know about diversification of funds, and I wasn't really financially literate at the moment. I was making a lot of money, staying in nice hotels, traveling from state to state, not really thinking about saving, not really thinking about investing at this particular point. So once that did happen, I was in a sink or swim situation, and I'm going to tell you, I blew bubbles, man. Hey, I sunk, man. I sunk to the bottom. I end up even being in this situation. I end up being in a relationship, with codependency as well. Just to be honest, I had some things to bring to the table, skill set, personality, character, money at the moment. But it was always good to be in company with someone else, just to kind of balance things out. So it was, and then I grew to love that person. But what I want to help you to understand is that upon initially leaving that place after my contract expired, that is the time when everything failed, that pushed me to a place of entrepreneurship. But it broke me first. So I want you to know, yes, it broke me. But that was the start to a $1 million journey. So upon doing that, I had already had some ideas. I was thinking, maybe I could run a company. So let's just move forward, get us a small food truck, get us start catering. I just coming up with all these ideas. I didn't really want to work for anyone else after that particular point, just because how I was done at that job. I gave my all at that job. I wasn't really getting paid. Every time I talked about an increase, it was all about it was at the core of it. It was basically they didn't want me to be in the same tax bracket as themselves, even though I was doing more work than them. And actually, I was putting up numbers, like they say. I was putting up numbers. I believe that I played a big part in, retainment of contracts for different schools and different sororities and fraternities. Now, I don't have a problem in particular with the CEO of this company or with this company. We're just going, that's why I haven't said the name of this company, but we're just going through what happened. So how I was released from this job, they basically lied on me, said I used the company card for things that I didn't. There was a whole ordeal. But it was basically just to get me out of the way, because the God that was over me, he didn't like that. So he didn't like that I was shining at a lower position and doing more. So that happens. That happens when you hire people who are buddy, but they're not competent in their position. They play along, they get along. And when someone comes and they mean business, they feel threatened, they're insecure, they don't have emotional intelligence, they don't have authenticity. So if you don't play along to get along, and you have authenticity, scares people. So when you're authentic, you can be by yourself. You know how to be at peace. You know how to love yourself. You know how to operate in your gifts, your passions, and mind your business and pursue things. Tunnel vision, have a tunnel vision pursuit. That scares people for some odd reason. People like to play it safe. So when they see someone like you that's moving in authenticity, it scares them because it's something that they want to do, but they don't have the guts to do it, and they always worry about what others have to say. So you scare people when you operate, on that frequency of authenticity. So why? I don't know. Everyone is supposed to be free and released from the burden of pleasing people, but some people play along to get along. I don't understand that, but anyway. So moving forward, I'm going to give you 3 points, as we already started this up. I'm going to give you 3 points of how this thing came along, just to kind of give you a roadmap. And number one is the breaking point, when everything crashed. And that's what we just went over. We just went over the breaking point where everything crashed, how everything kind of was a setback and a devastating point in my life. But actually, this pushed me to a point to either I'm going to sink or I'm going to swim. Number two is the unexpected shift, finding clarity in chaos. So as I said, as I started to move forward, I was thinking, well, maybe I could get some caterings. I pursued that, got an LLC made me a restaurant company, which is still active to this day. It's doing well to this day. And I started to pursue my own goals and dreams of owning a company. I didn't want to work for anyone after that ordeal, like I said, but so I just went ahead and pursued, had some good contracts, some government contracts with Camp Gruber in Braggs, Oklahoma. I've been to Tulsa University. I've been to other places as well, but I'm basically and done a lot of things in the community. My community, where I was once upon a time, I've done some cookouts there as well. for some old friends, clients, family came by, Norman, Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma. But that started to take off as well. So, but that point was the shift came when I took a lot of setbacks even after pursuing that. And the first one starting with family. Family is the first person to tell you if something doesn't start off right, especially when you have been programmed for poverty. That's another podcast we need to do, program for poverty. When you have had this ideology that's been passed down through generation to generation for such a long time, some people just don't know how to think. It scares them to think outside of the box. They like it. They've learned how to operate so good, so seamlessly in a place of chaos that they don't want to leave. They feel like if I learn how to, I don't know what peace feels like, and if I have peace, sometimes peace scares people. You understand what I'm saying? Peace scares people. When you have been placed in a situation in all your life and for generation to generation, you've been programmed to hate this certain type of person, to think that this certain type of people is a certain way, to think that you're only supposed to work, go out on the weekends and die. When you have been programmed to be stuck, you've been programmed to imprison yourself and also imprison your kids, and that ideology is to be passed down. See, and I tell people all the time, you can pass down generational blessings and you can pass down generational curses. A generational curse isn't always a drinking habit or a smoking habit or doing something in front of your children. You're like, oh, well, I think they're doing that because I did it. It's not always that. It's the ideology. It's the knowledge or the mindset that's passed down that triggers a child to do something. It's not always what you're doing. It's the mindset behind it. You know what I mean? I know some people who smoked in front of their children still don't smoke it to this day. I know some people that drank in front of their kids, had parties, you know what I mean? Rather elegant parties and rather hood ratchet parties in front of the kids, but they just don't partake in those things to this day. So it's the mindset, because the mindset was different. Even though they had they done a certain thing, it was a mindset that helped them they poured into their kids to help them to understand, well, this is what we do. This is not what you do. We do understand that, there is more out there, you know what I mean? But this is what we do, and we do it in a balanced way. We're successful, we do this, so there was a certain mindset that was passed down, and it gave them a choice. Some mindsets that are passed down to children, you don't have a choice. It's basically, this is the way it is. This is how it's going to always be. And that imprisons your imprisoned mindset. You basically pass that on to the child. So you need to give your child a hope or a choice. You know what I mean? And some people just don't think like that. So anyways, back to going on to what I was saying. Number two is the unexpected shift. So the unexpected shift in my entrepreneurial journey, how this actually blew up for me in the right way, is that I got fired. I got fired from a place. I didn't really know too much about business. I was thinking that, man, maybe if I cook a little bit, I know how to cook. I'm a great chef, so let me open up a business. But once I started to pursue my company, my restaurant company, was Thompson Square Gardens Restaurant Company. You can check us out at www.thompsonsquaregardensrestaurantcompany.com. You guys can go on there, man. We do everything from charity work. We do corporate catering, weddings, private parties, meal prep. So whatever you guys feel like that fits you and whatever you're doing, go ahead and check that out. That wasn't a good way to market the business, but that's not what I'm here for. But you can check that out. You can check that out, and we also have other subsidiaries as well that you can check out that kind of go hand in hand with that same company, like Thompson Square Gardens Culinary Exchange, which is a culinary store, and so you can check that out as well. What's being fired? I was thinking that, let me just start this business. I'm going to start this business. This business is going to blow up. I can cook well. I already have clientele. I've been posting food. Everyone's commenting on the food, saying the food looks good. So that's building my clientele on a national scale, because like I said, I was in so many of these different D1 colleges that I worked for that, I grew to, I basically grew to, I gained a lot of, let's say, high net worth contacts, dealing, to me, it was at the time. Now, my understanding of that is far, far beyond, with the contacts I have now at this very moment. But at that time, it was just like, it was mind blowing to come from where I came from, and now to be able to call someone that was at that economic status, and have just a plain regular conversation, knowing that these people are just regular human beings as well. They just have knowledge to not only obtain wealth, but also to maintain it, to maintain it as well enough to put it into a structure that ensures that their children will receive the same thing, and that pattern or that mindset is poured into the kids as well, to make sure that they continue to generate revenue and capital for either it's a trust or whatever. But but after pursuing this, I didn't know that once you step into the entrepreneurship, that you have to wear every hat. This is not a I'm just going to be a cook. I don't care if you start an LLC and just say you're a baker, or if you're a baker, if you are a small engine repairman, if you are, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you make your own jewelry. I want you to understand that you're going to have to wear every hat, because right now at the moment you don't have the capital, you haven't generated enough money or revenue to hire extra hands, so you're going to have to be the bookkeeper. You're going to have to do the marketing. You're going to have to be the boss. You're going to have to be, you're going to have to be everything that you can think of. You're actually going to have to be your own lawyer for the time being. If you don't have any money, have a lawyer on retainer, especially for business purposes, that means that you're going to have to learn how to do all these things. You're going to have to learn how to write these proposals, write a release of liability, just in case something happens when you're doing the catering or fixing them. Or you're gonna have to learn how to be your own lawyer as well. You're gonna have to learn how to create a company seal. You're gonna have to learn how to just do all these things. You're gonna learn how to understand taxes too, like mileage. You have to learn how to purchase a company vehicle and make sure that 6,000 pounds. You're going to have to learn about deductibles. So once you first start to go into entrepreneurship, I don't care if you are a chef, you're just not going to be a chef anymore. Now you're going to be the CEO, you're going to be the CFO, you're going to be the CMO, you're going to be every C-suite executive that you can think of, because you're going to have to do it all. So initially going into this position, I didn't really understand that about entrepreneurship. I was thinking, well, let's just go in here, let's just make some money. And I didn't understand that, hey, after I make this money, I didn't know anything about profit and loss statements. How do I even know that I'm making a profit? I didn't. I was making the money. Something comes up, and then I'm going to the store, buying my daughter animal crackers out of the money from our that we just made. I'm like, we don't, and I have to start all the way back over. What if that was logged that I made that amount of it's just stuff that you don't know, things that but it was a learning experience. It was a learning experience. It helped me to dive deeper into chasing that dream. So that was the unexpected shift. The unexpected shift was being fired, pursuing my passion, but also because I didn't know, and because a lot of things were not lining up the way that I wanted them to, and I couldn't see a profit, or I couldn't see where my money was going. It caused me to go deeper into the entrepreneurial knowledge and financial literacy and financial education and capital budgeting, and a lot of subjects that I would have never went into if I would have stayed at that job, or if I wasn't fired from that job. Once again, if you're just now tuning in, this is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. This is the place where we give you the knowledge and the tools to execute your dreams and visions. And what we're talking about is the time that everything went wrong and somehow right. And I'm just discussing how one of the most pivotal and the most vital things that ever happened in my life, man, that changed my life dramatically in my entrepreneurial journey, or before my entrepreneurial journey started, or before I started on this path that I'm on, that is now I put in some generous time too, and it's been generous to me as well. But like my dad used to always say, that if I take care of this car will take care of me. And that's the same thing with your business. It's the same thing with your relationships. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. So you know what I mean? If you don't put any gas in the car, I don't think that car is going to take you where you need to go. So it's the same thing with your business. You got to treat your business like a baby. That is your firstborn. Your first business is your firstborn baby, and you have to treat it as such. I always tell people this. I say you have to treat your business as a baby. The people you hire are like nannies and nurses. Nannies, nurses. Some people that's the C-suite roles. They're like the uncles and the aunties, and your board of directors are like the grandparents. You know what I mean? You're the parent, so you have to treat that like your baby. And make sure that, man, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to raise a business. So that's the same concept that I use in business as well. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, we're going to go with 3 points. And like I said, the title is How Everything Went Wrong Was Somehow Right. Number one that we went over was the breaking point when everything crashed. And I discussed that, how everything crashed with just losing a six-figure job, and how that pushed me into entrepreneurship, the unexpected shift, finding clarity in chaos, taking my skill set. And I would leave this to the end, but I know you guys are going to listen to this all the way through. Taking my skill set and monetizing that. Everything that I've learned in my past from every job that I've ever worked at, I've taken every skill. I've noted and taken note of every skill that I have possessed from those jobs, whether if it's small, whether if it's whatever it is, man. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's from flipping a burger to doing inventory. Whatever skill set that I had obtained through working a job, I brought them all together, and I found a way to monetize that and create a business for it. But first, I wanted to make sure that I was the trajectory that I chose. You have to have a trajectory. You can be the most skilled person there is, but if you have no trajectory or no target, you're just going to be shooting in the air. So you have to figure out what you're passionate about, and that's what gives you your aim, and that's what makes it almost effortless. When you start to pursue these things. I was good at being a cook, and I could do it effortless. I could just do it effortless, like whatever you could think of. I could just put something together in my head last minute quickly, and it'll be delicious. And I feel like that was a gift. So that was my aim, and I just took every thing that I've obtained, every skill, every piece of knowledge that I've obtained, and I tailored it to that passion. I tailored all those things that I retained, and I tailored it to that passion, and I started to pursue the restaurant company that I now own. So and now those same things, I can tailor it to something else. If I wanted to go into selling fine art supply, I can tailor all those skills from inventory. They're transferable skills. You just have to modify and tailor to this specific business sector that you're in. You may have to learn something else. It might be a slight tweak here that you may have to make, or something that you may have to tweak here or there. But ultimately, it's basically the same thing. You just tailor everything that you just tailor it according to what you're dealing with at the moment. As I can sell a car, but there's a method and a strategy on how to sell that car. But I also can sell food as well. So it's the same thing, same concept. You may have to use a different strategy when you're selling food or selling a car. Okay, so number 3 is the breakdown to breakthrough, the birth of the mission. From breakdown to breakthrough, the birth of a mission. And like I said, man, we're basically just talking about. All of this that you heard from me thus far is basically letting you know that my breakthrough was more about the knowledge that I received and the experience that going through the process. The experience and the knowledge I received by going through the process of losing everything and pursuing it, taking another avenue from not only working the 9 to 5, but pursuing my passion and my dreams and my gifts. It was the worst day of my life, but it also birthed the greatest potential within me. So that was more of a breakthrough. The breakthrough comes before the money. Understanding your passion, understanding your gifts, learning how to, like I said, cultivate that emotional intelligence. These are more of these eternal rewards, and these internal treasures are more of a breakthrough than just generating capital. The money's going to come. If you are a valuable person, you will have to run from money. Some of these, once you increase your value, sometimes you're going to have to turn down some deals that look good, they smell good, they taste good, they're with the right people, they're in the circle or group of people that you wish to be around, but there's just something in you saying that don't take this deal. I don't care if it's a $50 million deal. You do not take that deal because maybe your moral compass, something's not sitting right with you. Maybe it's some of these things you have to be able to discern. And just because you want to be in these certain rooms and rub shoulders with these certain people, I'm not saying don't take risks, but what I am saying is that you need to analyze. You need to be able to read the room, read a person's intentions when it comes to you. And and that's the spiritual side of the business. What I say, business is very spiritual in a sense, but you need to be able to understand that what is best for your business, your company culture, your core values of your business, and make sure that every connection that you make is moving the needle forward towards accomplishing your mission while not compromising on those values. It's just I like trends. I like different trends. When the black and white Nike Dunks came out, that was a good shoe that we wanted to kind of incorporate into our sales seasonally at our Thompson shoe and clothing unit. But the thing was that it wasn't that particular trend, but there was another trend that happened that was real popular. I think we moved forward with marketing a similar product close to that shoe, but another trend happened, and another trend, it was real hot. It was making a lot of money. We could have put together, got a product manager. We could have just, got the raw material. We could have did the whole nine, man, and just develop a product that could have just blew some of these other products out of the water. We had the team, we had the revenue, we had everything. But the thing is, it didn't align to our company values. Like, why for the money will we compromise on our company values, wreck our company culture, what we stand on as a company in its entirety, and renege on that or compromise that just for a couple $1 million, and then we'll have to live with that. Don't you know that our company is going to move forward for the next 10 years, and there's going to be some person, with some person out of nowhere that's going to come, and he's going to say, well, I see that you guys are saying this now, but then just 5 years ago, you guys supported a movement through the creation of this product. It was just so similar with you guys with posts, and somebody's going to dig up something that's going to try to wreck your character, the character of your company. So you want to make sure that I'm telling you this, I actually had a couple deals. I had a deal in Dubai with a guy that was, I think it was like 2.4 million. It was when I first started off in my entrepreneurial journey. I needed that as well. I was looking for investors. Also had another deal with Barclays Bank in London for a small deal. But the thing was, the terms and conditions of those loans, the terms and conditions of those investments they didn't align. It would have it was like selling my soul, you know what I mean? But they didn't really align with where I was trying to take the company at that moment. Was the company still blessed? Yes, and I give God the glory for that. All of my success, I always mention God, because how I was raised, the mindset that was passed down to me, the odds that were stacked against me. I'm supposed to be dead. You know what I mean? If I told the rest of my story and my past, but just going to stick to the subject matter about unexpected shift, the breakdown, and how everything went wrong and somehow right, kind of the genesis of my entrepreneurial story. We don't want to go too deep into my past, but I'm not supposed to be here. So I always keep God first, and I always mention God and the love that God had for me while I'm still alive, to be able to pursue this purpose for my family as well. It's not just for me. Everything that you do in this life, it should be bigger than you in some aspect, and that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you going when everything falls apart. When you miss a couple deadlines, when you get, effed over by a couple business partners, large sums of money, there's something in you that should say, I don't want to, you shouldn't say, I don't want to do this anymore, man. I'm just tired of this. There's something in you that say, what we're going to do? We're going to back up. We're going to rebrand. We're gonna, rebrand and relaunch. We're gonna whatever we need to do to make sure that I always understand my why originally. What's my original motive to why I got in business or pursue entrepreneurship in the first place? What's my original motive of my passion? You have to relight that fire and understand why you started in the first place, if you understand what I'm saying. And sometimes it takes for you to take a big hit to help you down and to build that resilience in you. That builds resilience. Yeah, I face a lot of setbacks, but those were just resilient builders to help you to build resilience. Those things are not there to take you out. It's want to see how bad do you want it. If you're trying to make a touchdown, do not think it's not an opposing team. And that opposing team is life. That opposing team is maybe some bad business partners. That opposing team is maybe maybe a brother or sister that's close to you, that's doubt you, but making it seem like it's in a loving way. Have you ever had those people close to you? They'll say, man, I don't think this is really a good idea, and they'll give you a good reason, but it just sounds like doubt. It just sounds like fear. You have to be able to discern those things. If I'm telling you that I want to make $100 million this year, and you're telling me, well, maybe what about 40? You have to get away from me. You should have said, man, wow, let's make 101. I'd rather you up me than down me. So, you know what I mean? And in this journey, or in entrepreneurship, you have to be completely delusional. And what I mean by delusional, it's not really delusional. You have to already be who you want to be in your mind before you're him in real life. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's just like this. If I'm going to school to be a doctor, in my mind, I'm already a doctor. I'm just pursuing that piece of that knowledge that qualifies me or certifies me to be a doctor. Everybody that ever goes to school, everyone that does really anything, I don't care if you say I want to be a smoker. Before you get your money together, go to the store, do all this in your mind, you're already there. All you are doing now is reenacting what you have already purposed in your mind and set in your mind that you are and what you're going to do. I don't care if it's a smoker or a drinker, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you want to be whatever you want to be, an entrepreneur, CEO. You have to already be that in your mind, and your body will follow. So you have to be completely delusional, you know what I mean? And you have to dream big. You have to dream so big that it scares you. You have to dream so big that no one's going to understand you. And that's where the journey starts. That's where the purpose of entrepreneurship starts. When everyone starts to doubt you, when people persecute you for having big dreams, welcome aboard. Now you're on entrepreneurship. Now you are on the entrepreneurship. A dad joke. Entrepreneurship. But anyway, floating, you know what I mean? Floating the capital land. But what I want you to know is, man, that there are going to be some moments in your life that you're going to think that these moments right here are ready to take you out. These moments are the end of you. But I want you to understand that these moments are just the beginning. This is the genesis of a new version of yourself, a new version of your business, a new version of your economic status. It's basically like this. If I beat the boss on one level in a video game, don't you know when I go to the next level, I'm starting from zero? The level is harder. I've never seen this level before, so it feels like I'm starting from zero. But in the eyes of someone else, I look like I'm the man already. I'm the man. I passed 2 or 3 levels, but on that new level, I'm a beginner, so it's just my first time. So don't be so hard on yourself. Know that with all these things, once you level up, it's like you're a beginner all over again. So you're just going to have to learn how to operate on that new level as a beginner until you master that level, and then you go to the next level and you're a beginner at the next level. So a lot of these things are setbacks. A lot of these things are put in your place so that you can learn how to strategically move through these different levels and realms and atmospheres, so that you'll be able to like I said, obtain that knowledge and hopefully retain it and make it transferable, or explain it in a way where someone can understand it, where you can change the mindset. The goal is to help people reach their fullest potential, no matter what that is. Reach their fullest potential by the shifting or the changing of the mindset. That is the goal, the mindset shift. It's not about, I can give someone $1 million right now and they can blow it and they can go right back on the street and be completely homeless, because their mindset is not tailored to want to learn about financial literacy. It's not really, it doesn't operate like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I want you to understand is that the goal here is for a leader to create other leaders by helping them reach their full potential, by pouring into them and helping to shift their mindset to operate on a higher level. So that's what we're doing here. And man, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, this is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. This is the place where we give you the knowledge and tools to execute your dreams and visions. We'll see you back here next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one. Peace.